about to begin the service. Would everybody please put your cell phones to silent mode at this time? The service is going to be conducted by Cantor Pavel Reutemann.
Friends, we have gathered here today to bid farewell to our beloved Nona, a wonderful, beautiful human being. At this time, our thoughts and sympathies go to members of Nona's family, extended family, to Alina, Alex, David, Samuel, to relatives, friends, all of you who are here today, and all of you who are online with us. Nona was well known in our community, and of course her passing is significant. Her reach was beyond just Chicago, it was worldwide, and her absence will be keenly felt. And we all mourn the family. It's been a custom in our tradition to share some readings that hopefully will bring comfort at this time of grief. And I will begin with the words of Ecclesiastes. A season is set for everything, a time for every experience under heaven, a time for dancing and a time for wailing, a time for birthing and a time for dying, a time for speaking and a time for silence, a time for seeking and a time for losing. We are all destined to die. We share it with all who ever lived, with all who ever will be. Cry for the dead, hide not your grief, do not restrain your mourning, but remember that continuing sorrow is worse than death. When our loved ones are at rest, let their memory be a source of peace, and be consoled when the sword departs. Death is better than a life of pain, the eternal rest is better than constant sickness. Let us not seek to understand what is too difficult for us, nor search for what is hidden, nor be preoccupied with what is beyond, for we have been shown more than we can understand. As a drop of water in the sea, a grain of sand on the shore, are a few days of eternity. The good things in life last for a short time, but a good name, good reputation endures forever. A good person, though taken from us too soon, will rest in peace. For honor in old age does not come from length of life. Honor in old age does not come from length of years. Understanding is the gray hair of humanity. A blameless life is ripeness of age. Perfection is in limited years. It's like having for many years a good person, though taken from us too soon, will rest in peace. Let us then, with peace of mind, let the good soul rest. Adonai roi lo yechsar, ino deshi arvitzei, al mei menuchot, inach alei, nafshi shovei shovei, Yancheni v'maglei tzedek, Yancheni v'maglei tzedek, leman shemo, Gam ki ere, v'geitz al mavet, lo irara, ki ata imari, shivtecha, ומשענתך המה ינחמוני. אדוני רואי לא אחסר, אדוני רואי לא אחסר. Nona was a wonderful woman whose life was filled with poetry, music, and beauty. Talented, joyful, and bright, Nona was loved and cherished by many family members and friends, all of whom appreciated her creativity and her grace. They all mourn today, saddened by her unfortunate passing. Jewish tradition teaches us that life is a journey and death a destination, a portal to life everlasting. Today, Nona's journey is complete, and her passing becomes a passage, one that leads to the heavenly gates, where she will surely be welcomed and embraced. Though Nona is no longer with us, her spirit will live on in the memories she created, the lives she touched, and the songs and poems she gifted to the world. She truly made our world a better place through her creativity and her love. Tiye zichrono livracha, zichrona livracha, may her memory be a blessing, is a phrase that we use when we lay our loved ones to rest. And indeed, Nona's memory will remain a blessing to all those we had the privilege of knowing and loving her. May they find comfort in the memories she left behind and in the legacy that will remain forever. Nona was born in Odessa in 1953, and as a true Odessitka, she immediately breathed in the humor, culture, and spirit of this remarkable city. Nona's parents, Sarah and Simeon, loved her deeply and raised her with an appreciation for culture and the arts, especially cinema, which captured her imagination from an early age. It so happened that Nona's father was a war veteran and journalist by trade, who also enjoyed being a movie projectionist. Watching his movies sparked Nona's interest in acting, something that she pursued later in life. In addition to acting, Nona's interests included music and the written word. She particularly enjoyed poetry, which became yet another passion that defined Nona in life. Choosing music as a profession, Nona studied piano in Lviv after her family moved there. After graduating from the local music college, Nona began to teach. An excellent pedagogue, she quickly attracted students who loved working with her. She particularly enjoyed teaching piano to beginners, especially elementary school children, and was exceptionally good at it. In addition to teaching, Nona worked as an accompanist for a ballet studio and theater, and acted in the local community theater productions. A bohemian and a performer, Nona was artistic, lovely, and as Alina put it, unique. At the same time, she was contemplative and humble, finding meaning in spiritual pursuits like healing and meditative arts. In so many ways, Nona was a remarkable constellation of talents and skills that made her stand out among the crowd. In her daughter's words, if you ever met her, you'd be inspired, as I am sure many have been all throughout Nona's life. It was perhaps her sophistication, personality, and beauty that attracted Michael, Nona's husband and partner in life. They met through a friend with whom Nona was on a date, but as the story goes, it was Michael that she fell in love with, and the rest was history. They were, I am told, the ultimate Yiddish couple, a good Jewish girl and a good Jewish boy. Each had their own specific interests and traits, but together they built a family and a life rooted in understanding, respect, and love. As Alina shared in our conversation, she never heard her parents argue with each other and used the word harmony to describe the nature of their relationship. From Alina's words, Nona and Michael complemented each other. Michael especially appreciated Nona's spiritual side as he supported her personal growth through unconditional care and love. Together, they enjoyed spending time in the company of friends, cherishing relationships that lasted a lifetime. But of course, the most cherished relationship, one that was at the center of Nona's life, was with her beloved daughter Alina and her grandchildren Samuel and David. To Alina, Nona was a loving and caring mother, friend, and confidant. They were, as Alina put it, super close, speaking often and sharing their lives with intimacy and understanding. Nona was proud of Alina and loved her deeply, and Alina loved her in return. To her grandchildren, Nona was a loving and caring babushka, their biggest supporter and friend. She took care of Samuel and David, cheered them on, and comforted them in the way in which only she could. And they loved her too, and just like Nona did for them, they too had a special place for Grandma in their hearts. All of this was, of course, later in Nona's life. Before she became a grandmother, Nona immigrated to the U.S. in 1991. At the time, she was a young woman filled with inspiration and hopes for a new beginning. But life in America wasn't easy, especially in the early years of her American life. Like many immigrants, Nona took on various jobs to help support the family and make a living. Eventually, she secured a stable position as a bookkeeper and administrative assistant. At the same time, Nona never abandoned her creative passions. She continued to teach piano and voice and remained active on stage, showcasing her thespian skills at the Bravo Theater, where she was cherished for her creativity, talent, and wit. As I mentioned earlier, Nona was a beautiful person inside and out, and she graciously shared this beauty through meaningful personal connections and her creative work. An actress, musician, and more, Nona's talents shone through much of what she did, especially through her poetry and writings. A few days ago in our conversation, Nona's daughter Alina shared a link with me from the site called the Andersfell, an international platform for poets and writers from all over the world. There, I found a beautiful tribute to Nona, one of the site's cherished and well-published authors. I'm going to read the parts of this tribute in translation as it was originally written in Russian. And this is what it sounds like in part. Nona was not just a participant in our creative project. She became a part of it, a vital and irreplaceable presence. In her stories, essays, and letters to the reader, she brought together a sharp awareness of time with quiet irony, contained pain, and deep and genuine warmth. Her voice was unmistakable, soft and gracious, yet firm in conviction. She was kind, but always in pursuit of truth. Nona wrote as she lived, with attentiveness, honesty, and an abiding respect for both people and the written word. Her prose was a reflection of who she was, precise, thoughtful, gently ironic, and always compassionate. In her writing there was light, memory, and sorrow, but never weight. Her words flowed with grace, conveying meaning without ever needing it to be announced. Nona will stay with us in her texts, in the memory of those who read and loved her work, and in the quiet yet powerful bond that true writers create between themselves and their readers. Nona had a rare gift. She knew how to listen, both in live and on the page. She did not write about the important. She simply wrote and in doing so, made it important. We will miss her dearly, but we will carry her voice with us, clear, wise, and full of heart. End of quote. What a beautiful tribute to a beautiful person who clearly left a lasting impact in this world. And indeed, Nona's voice was unmistakable and strong, coming through her published works, "И в шутку, и всерьез," "In Jest and in Earnest" in 2009, and "Возраст души," "Age of the Soul" in 2011. Also in her songs and stories that she shared on stage at Chicago's own Russian radio station, Народная Волна. It was a voice that will continue to resonate with all of us even after Nona's untimely passing. But it is a reflection of her beautiful, immortal soul. Nona lived a life filled with meaning and purpose. And although at times she experienced hardships and loss, the passing of her beloved husband, Michael, the challenges of immigration and the journey of finding her place in the new world, hers was a rich and fulfilling journey. Nona loved deeply and was loved in return, and in many aspects of her life she was happy and fulfilled. Ashrei yoshvei beitecha u'yarelucha sela. Happy is the one who appreciates life's blessing and is content with their portion. So teaches the Jewish tradition. Nona appreciated all that she had, her family, work, and the ability to express herself and more. Was she content? Perhaps not entirely, for she always strove to do better at what she did, setting an example of how to live with a full heart and with joy. May we all be worthy of her example, and may her memory be an everlasting blessing, and we say, Amen. I'm now going to invite Alina to share a few words about her mom.
My mother was a force of nature. If life were a stage, she was the star of the show, playing every role with grace, wit, and a dash of Odessa humor. Mom was 100% dedicated to family, the kind of dedication that deserves its own monument. She was a woman of many talents, a writer who always created poems, short stories, and more. She had the gift of finding inspiration in the smallest moments. An actress who could steal the spotlight in any room. A piano and vocal teacher who didn't just teach notes. She unlocked worlds for her students with music and patience. She helped children with autism and neurological disorders to come out of their shells. A healer who had the ability of ease headaches and soothe anxiety. Mom was fiercely independent and brave. This woman who never complained, no matter what life threw at her. She was self-sufficient, adapting to new places, new professions, and new challenges with ease of someone changing outfits. Speaking of outfits, she was always put together, a fashionista with impeccable taste, with perfect hair and makeup. She was a phenomenal mother, grandmother, and a friend, ready to listen and help. She was always a phone call and literally 10 minutes away when we needed her. Mom, you were a masterpiece, protector, anchor, advisor, and the greatest role model. We believe in reincarnation, so may your next adventure be a vibrant, bold, and extraordinary as you were. Love you forever. finally, I'm gonna do something unorthodox with theirs. I'd like to take a moment to honor two other extraordinary women. Who shaped my life. They passed away within the past 4 months, basically 6 months apart from each other. And my mom and I were not able to attend their funerals, but both of us wanted to acknowledge their importance. My aunt Jane Tannenbaum, who left us 6 months ago, was my kindred spirit. We shared the connection that didn't need constant visits or phone calls to stay strong. Jane always had my back, offering her wisdom, encouragement, and love. I miss her deeply. And my mother-in-law, Nina Brodsky, who passed away last June. She loved me and guided me since I was 19 years old. Her support never wavered, and I'm forever grateful for her warmth and wisdom. My mom, Jane, and Ina were my three musketeers and my anchors. And I'm beyond fortunate to be raised and guided by these incredible women. I am the woman I am today because of them, but especially because of my mom.
Alina, you and I know each other a little bit, and you are a remarkable person, and you clearly stand on the shoulders of giants. Thank you for sharing your memories, and thank you for the love that you inherited, and of course the strength that you're going to need in the next few days, weeks, and maybe years. In a moment, I'll read the concluding prayer, in which there's a beautiful picture of a soul that ascends to heaven, and the soul is embraced by the wings of God. This is one of those rare images in Jewish tradition when God is actually described in details, such as the wings. But before I do, I'd like to invite each of us to recall one memory of Nona, something you knew her by, something that is meaningful to you. I invite you to close your eyes for a minute and take a moment of silence and a moment of memory. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints of snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn's rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft star that shines at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. Please rise. Exalted, compassionate God, grant infinite rest in the shadow of your wings among the holy and the pure to the soul of our beloved Nona, who has gone to her eternal home. Merciful One, we ask that she finds perfect peace in your eternal heavenly embrace. May Nona's soul be bound to the bond of life. May she rest in peace, and we say, Amen.
שולחין במרומים, אמצא מנוחה נכונה, תחת כנפי השכינה, ומעלות קדושים ותחורים כזוהר מזכיר את נשמת נונה בת סמל בשר, שחלקה לעולמה בגן עדן כמנוחתה, אנא בעל הרחמים, אסתירך בסתר כנפיך לעולמים, וצרור בצרור חיים את נשמתה, אדוני הוא נחלתה, ותנוח בשלום על משכבה, ונאמר אמן.
Please be seated.
The interment will take the Memorial Park Cemetery. We're going to enter the Grosse Pointe Road entrance, 9900 Grosse Pointe Road. If you're going to the cemetery, there's stickers on the front, in the front lobby. Put one of these in the inside right portion of your windshield and drive with your high beam headlights on. You'll follow behind the hearse. If it changes to red, you are permitted to go through, but please look both ways and make sure that traffic has stopped. You got to drive defensively. After the interment, the family is inviting everyone back to Zhivago Restaurant, which is right across the street from the entrance of Memorial Park. At this time, everybody would please rise, and could I ask the immediate family members, son-in-law, grandsons, please come up and be pallbearers. Also, if there's any gentleman that could help us bring the flowers out to the hearse, that would be full. Normally we would have 6 pallbearers.